And hello, this is Mr. Zhang, the visa in Korea. Okay, from the yesterday, I make a video for the, lecturing and about the visa issues. The yesterday, I just delivered certain information about the how to prepare for the E74, the based on the 52 hours per week in the system. Today is I am focusing on the your very most frequent three questions for the F2-7 visa, right? There are lots of persons ask me about the the Fridays YouTube live channel, or the some person personally and they contacted me about the F2-7 visa, and I will deliver that kinds of information for you to the better understanding. The F2-7, the new visa system has started from the December 1st, and from the all over the countries, the F2-7, the immigration offices, and it is getting in the harder to apply the criteria, because an F2-7 has started in the 2016 and to the 2020 with the previous rule, and the January and the second the last year has changed in a certain rule when you apply for the F2-7 and or F2-71, as well as extension. Extension is getting difficult. This is a basic rule, and and also applied to the F2-7 visa system. Before we started it, I will basically give and the and the basic information about the F2-7. And firstly, you need to get 80 points or higher point. This is a mandatory. Now also, when you extend F2-7 visa, right, and you need to get 80 point or higher point, right? This is a very important thing. So if you got F2-7 and your spouse got F2-71, right, if you apply for the F2-7 with your spouse F2-71, uh, you need to get 80 points with a GNI one-time income. And also extension is the same rule, right? You need to know this basic information. So you may check my previous YouTube channel and lecturing the sessions, and you may check the information. So today we are just focus on and the most frequent the three questions for the F2-7 visa, right? Now we'll start the right away. The first question is 3 years and from E1 visa to E7 visa and D5 in this coverage long term, and D7 and intra-company transfer, and D8 foreign direct investment, and D9 visa is private and a company investor. So there is 3 years is required for when you apply for the for the F2-7 and this visa, right? But there is exceptions. One, if you are holding E1 to D9 and previous income certificate is more than 40 million won, right? Is the income certificate issued by tax office. So your previous year's income was more than 40 million won, you don't need to wait until 3 years, right? Another one. Secondly, and if you got a D2, right? D2 and D2-3 and the D2-4 is a kind of a master's degree and a PhD degree. But before that, you got D2-1 and associate degree and D2-2 and the bachelor degree and moving to D2-3, or you got a D2-3 and change it to D2-4. So this period, total period is 3 years, and with the master's degree or PhD degree. If you got this one, if you meet this requirement, and you got E1 to D9, right? And you don't need to wait until 3 years. This is the first thing. Clear? It is clear? Okay. For example, we can consider like this. If you got a master's degree here, but you studied just 2 years, and you got a master's degree, and after that D10 visa, and totally 2 years and 6 months you just stayed in Korea before you got E7. In this case, you got a master's degree first, yeah, is no problem, and you got a one of this and the visas is okay, but how to measure 3 years? So, but if you were and meet this requirement, and previous income was over 40 million won, there is no need to wait until 3 years. But if you got D23 and the 2 years and 6 months, you got the staying in Korea, but you got E7 visa right now, but you stay 2 years, right? How to do? Okay. If you gotta graduate from one of the Korean universities as a master course, so if you meet 3 years, it doesn't matter about 3 years. You can apply for that, but D23, and if you stay less than 3 years, including D10, before you got D7, is less than 3 years. In this case, you have to wait until 3 years. But if you got an E7 right now, with the same the situation, but previous income was 40 million won, you have a chance to apply for that. But I said already, the main condition is that you got 80 points. With this requirement, you shall meet. Another one. And there's just erase the things, and I explain very important thing. Okay, yeah, well, erased. Well, this is very good technologies, right? Okay. I know is one of the person got one of this and the visas right now, one of these visas right now without D2, right? So they came to Korea with a E1 to E7 and D5, D7, and D8 and D9 visa, right? And without the masters and the D2-3 or D2-4 visa holding. You just here for just the business or the working at one of the companies, right? Even if you were staying in Korea over 3 years, your previous income is less than 40 million won. It is not available to apply for that. This is a very, very important thing. Except for the 3 years of working or studying in the Korea with a D2-3 or a D2-4, and you got a master's degree in one of the Korean university. Except for that, if you are holding this visa, right? Even if you met the 3 years from this visa, right? Without the master degree, D2-3 or D2-4, you have to meet 40 million won for the previous year's income. It was shocked, right? A little bit shocking. Well, first time I just checked that, I was a little bit shocking. Before the without holding and master's degree or a PhD degree from one of the Korean university and studying over 3 years, including the 10 visas, you have to meet the 40 million won for previous year's income, even though you are holding this one of the visas for and staying over 3 years. If you meet this requirement without 40 million won for the previous year's income, it is not available. Okay, but second, and the most frequent question is, if you are working at a KOSDAQ listed corporation, need 3 years? No need 3 years. So if you are working at a KOSDAQ listed company, means you are currently the holding E3, the research visa, or E7, special activity visa, right? So mostly got our E7 visa holders. It doesn't matter about you got a master's degree, PhD degree, or from overseas or domestic and Korean universities. It doesn't matter. So if you are working at a KOSDAQ listed company with a E7 visa, right? 3 years of working, it is not mandatory. But if you're at a working contract and from January and the 1st to December the 31st, this working contract, 1 year working contract is amount is more than 40 million won. If it's due, you don't need to wait until 3 years, and you can apply for the fast track, such as if you were in the working contract with one of their listed companies is over 40 million won. So the point will be given 40 points on the point chart. So if you do, yes, I think you may get over 80 points totally, right? Because of your age, right? And your education include. So, but your and the income is accepted as 40 million won, even though you are working less than 1 year. There is no any income certificate issued by tax office, because and every May issued your income certificate. But if you are working at one of the KOSDAQ listed companies and you are January to December 31st income and the working and the contract yearly working contract amount is over 40 million won, you meet the basic requirement for that. So if you meet 80 point, yes, you can apply for the F2-7 visa tomorrow or day after tomorrow, okay? The last question is, newly I received the kinds of information from the immigration office, and it's totally different from the previous F2-7 visa criteria. Exactly. So when you apply, right, 80 points, and also 3 years from the and D5, D7, D8, D9, and E1 to E7 visas, or if your previous income, this is a kind of mandatory for the 40 million won income, right? If you meet this requirement, right, and when you have a chance to apply for the F7, but before apply for the F7 visa, right, you have to get a criminal record from your home country. Is that all? No. You need to get APOSO, and the Korean name is apostille, or Korean embassy, the consular stamp, consular, and the confirmation stamp. And you need to get this one when you apply for the F2-7, even if you meet 80 point and 3 years or previous year's income, so 40 million, or the KOSDAQ listed company is working, even though you have to get the criminal record from your home country. So if your home country issues your country's language, it shall be translated into Korean and get a notarial translation in English and get it from overseas, your countries, and get apostle or the consular and the stamp. Without in the criminal record on it, your and the F2-7 application shall be rejected or returned until you got this, right? This is a very, very important information, and you needed to check this one. Okay, I just summarized most and frequent the 3 questions for the F2-7. The firstly, if you have this visa without and a master's degree or PhD degree from one of the Korean universities, and also studied over 3 years, including D10, you need to wait until 3 years from this visa, right? But if your previous income issued by the tax office is over 40 million won with 80 points, and you can apply for that. But if the income is less than 40 million won, but if you got an E7 visa, right, from Korea after having a master's degree or a PhD degree, and the total and the studying period and over 3 years with at least in a master's degree, 40 million won and 3 years, it is not actually required, okay? You can apply for that. Secondly, and if you are working at a KOSDAQ listed company and your the yearly income, yearly and the working contract amount is more than 40 million won, without and the issuing and your income certificate issued by a tax office, your contract amount is accepted as exactly income certificate. So if your January to December 31st income and the contract amount is more than 40 million won, and your the working contract itself accepted as the 40 point as a point to chart. So if you do, is easy to get 80 point totally, right? Good. Then lastly, there is the new system that you need to submit it apostilled or consular confirmed and the criminal record from your home country. If you issued and your the criminal record from the embassy, your embassy in Korea, it is not acceptable. Need to get your countries to send this document to your country and need to get apostille or the Korean consular embassy's consular confirmation or legalization stamp. Without your criminal record or with apostille or consular legalization or confirmation, right? Your F2-7 visa application or is returned or rejected. right? This is a visa in Korea. I will daily update immigration policies and share my experience. So if you like my YouTube channel, and please the push and subscription and the button to motivate me more. This is Mr. Zhang and the Visa in Korea. See you next time with a more valuable Korean immigration policies and information on it. Thank you. See you next time.